Panama and Netherlands will be started.
양팀 선수들을 소개해드리겠습니다. 먼저 파나마 선수단입니다.
Introducing today's lineup. First, the visiting team, Panama.
감독 디마스 폰스,
Manager Dimas Pons.
코치 에르만 몬테로,
Coach Herman Montero.
코치 칼로스 모스케로,
Coach Carlos Mosquero.
코치 에슐리 폰스,
Coach Ashley Pons.
1번 타자 루이스 텔러,
Batting first, Luis Tella.
2번 타자 제이슨 패터스,
Batting second, Jason Patterson.
3번 타자 호세 라모스,
Batting third, Jose Ramos.
4번 타자 진 아미스,
Batting fourth, Gene Arnaz.
5번 타자 홀리오 곤잘레스,
Batting fifth, Julio Gonzalez.
6번 타자 베냐민 베일리,
Batting sixth, Benjamin Bailey.
7번 타자 에이드리안 몬테로,
Batting seventh, Adrian Montero.
8번 타자 다니로 아브리고,
Batting eighth, Danilo Adrigo.
9번 타자 노엘 수아레스,
Batting ninth, Noel Suarez.
투수 허세 오조,
Today's starting pitcher, Jose Ojo.
그 외에 예비 선수들입니다.
And the rest of Team Panama.
이어서 네덜란드 선수단입니다.
The Team Netherlands, today's home team.
감독 에릭 베브런,
Manager, Eric de Boer.
코치 마이클 베이스먼,
Coach, Michael Bergman.
코치 유진 킹셀,
Coach, Eugene Kinsale.
코치 마틴 유조,
Coach, Martin Nido.
5번 타자 타리 캠,
Batting first, Eric Camp.
2번 타자 닉 버스,
Batting second, Nick Voss.
3번 타자 데럴 콜린스,
Batting third, Gerald Collins.
4번 타자 루앤드 피트넬라,
Batting fourth, Luendrick Petronella.
5번 타자 나타니엘 벤투라,
Batting fifth, Nathaniel Ventura.
6번 타자 쉐인 컨트,
Batting sixth, Shane Pond.
7번 타자 리안드로 아나사가스키,
Batting seventh, Leandro Anasagasti.
8번 타자 라신 콜로니아스,
Batting eighth, Bryson Polonius.
9번 타자 맥스 컵스,
Batting ninth, Max Cox.
투수 스콧 프린스,
Today's starting pitcher, Scott Prince.
그 외에 예비 선수들입니다.
And the rest of Team Netherlands.
다음에 본 경기를 진행할 심판위원을 소개해드리겠습니다. 주심 1번의 카나사토, 외교심 1번의 타카야시 신야, 1루심 한국의 조지양, 3루심 한국의 강신우. 이상 네 분께서 수고해 주시겠습니다.
Today's umpires are home plate, Ms. Kana Sato from Japan. First base, Mr. Takahashi Shinya from Japan. Second base, Mr. Ji-hyun Cho from Republic of Korea. Third base, Mr. Shin-woo Kang from Republic of Korea.
파나마와 네덜란드의 국가가 연주되겠습니다. 양팀 선수 및 관중 여러분께서는 모자를 벗고 기립하여 국기를 향하여 주시기 바랍니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your caps as we play the national anthems of Panama and Netherlands.
먼저 파나마의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
First, the visiting team, Panama.
문제가 있겠습니다.
And then the home team, Netherlands.
Well, hello again, good evening, and welcome to Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark Field 2 for the nightcap of our doubleheader at Field 2. This game, a consolation round game between the Netherlands and Panama. Two teams that came here with very impressive young squads. The Netherlands finished in a three-way 3-2 tie and wound up the odd men out in terms of advancing to the super round. Panama, meanwhile, went 1-4 in the opening round, but this ought to be a good one tonight in incredibly pleasant conditions. Don't let the graphic fool you. The 26 degrees may be true, but it's sunny and there doesn't appear to be any rain in sight. There's always that 80% chance of rain, it would seem, but you can see the sunshine blazing down, the blinds being lowered in the background of that shot as the umpires get together at home plate with our managers, Eric De Bruin for the Netherlands there and Dimas Ponce for Panama. And smiles on everybody's faces, and that's the way we want to have it on what has been just a perfect day of baseball here, the opening day of the super round, the opening day of the consolation bracket. And the visitors tonight are the team from Panama. So we'll look at the starting lineup, which begins with Luis Teo, the right fielder, and then moves on to Jason Patterson and Jose Ramos, 2-3, with Jane Arnaez, Blue Jays prospect, in the cleanup spot. Julio Gonzalez at first base bats fifth. Benjamin Bailey is batting sixth. Adrian Montero, the DH, bats seventh. Danilo Abrego, the catcher, bats eighth. And Noel Suarez will be the second baseman, batting ninth. A Panama club that played a pretty good game against the United States yesterday, losing 5-3. They'll try to find some holes in this defensive alignment. Collins in left, Piccinella in center, and Max Kopp's a really impressive young player in right. Mick Voss is at short. On either side of him, it's Ryson Polonius at third and Tyree Kemp at second. Nathaniel Ventura, who has caught, in addition to playing first base at this tournament, is at first base today, which allows Leandro Anasagasti to get back behind the dish, working with a right-handed starter, Scott Prince. There's Eric De Bruin and his coaching staff. Eugene Kingsale, one of the only Aruban-born former Major League players on that coaching staff. And our umpiring crew with umpires from all over the world, including, well, I guess not so much in this case. Two from Japan, two from Korea. Kana Soto will be calling the balls and strikes. Takahashi Shinya is at first. Jin Hyun Cho and Shin Ugang are the umpires at second and third base, respectively. We are good to go on this beautiful evening here, a Wednesday night in Gijang. And let me correct myself, it's a Thursday night. The days of the week really don't matter at these tournaments. Kind of easy to lose track of the days of the week as you see our super round standings. Spain 2-0, the Netherlands 2-0. Nicaragua and Panama there with one loss each. Nicaragua having won earlier today to move to 2-1. You saw those winless teams at the bottom of the graphic, South Africa and China. Well, you may have to adjust that, as at last look about 10 minutes ago, China was beating Spain 6-0, thanks to, in no small part, a grand slam that was hit by Liu Bin Bin. So now a pitch outside, and 2-0 the count on Luis Teo. Teo has lived atop this Panamanian batting order, and And he takes a strike just above the belt buckle. It's 2-1. First strike out of the way. Prince comes back with another one, and it's 2-2. The reaction from Teo tells you his viewpoint of that pitch. Now 2-2. Swung on and popped up high in the air. Good luck finding it. The sun will disappear behind the mountains in just a matter of moments, which will cut down dramatically on the amount of glare that we're dealing with in our position right behind home plate. I gotta believe it's making life more difficult for Leandro Anasagasti, the catcher. Another 2-2 meanwhile. This one driven out into center field. The first step back, then a few in, and Petronella puts it away. We have one out.
이번 타자 유격수 제이슨 패터스.
Now batting, number 7, shortstop, Jason Patterson.
Jason Patterson, the batter now. And something dealt with off behind first base. There may have been a gate left open or something of that nature. In any event, we're ready to go again, and we begin with strike one to Patterson. Fouled back quickly, 0-2. I'm Craig Durham. Happy you've decided to tune into this one, featuring a couple of really good teams that were just ever so slightly overmatched in the opening round. Softly hit to short. Play made. Nice job by Mick Voss. And there's 2 outs with Jose Ramos coming up.
Now batting, number 99, center field.
First game of this field today was an instant classic between the United States and Australia. A game that was scoreless into the bottom of the 6th inning saw the United States score first, take a 1-0 lead into the 8th inning when Australia tied it up, very nearly took a lead. The ball literally could not have gone any further without being a home run. It hit on the very top of the center field wall. Instead of bouncing out, it bounced back in. And so that tied it at 1, and then it would remain tied at 1 into the bottom of the 9th when the U.S. loaded them up with nobody out and poked a ground ball up the middle to walk off winners. It was a thriller. It was well pitched, well defended, with timely hitting. It had a little bit of everything, and it lasted just more than 2 hours. If you blinked or showed up late, you were going to miss it. And congratulations to the United States for winning that game and keeping their chances of earning a 5th consecutive U-18 world title alive. And what a job by Scott Prince, who strikes out Ramos to retire the side in order in the top of the 1st. The Netherlands comes to bat when we return.
그러나 수비에 들어갈 파나마의 수비 위치를 말씀드리겠습니다. 셋은 허세 오저, 허스 다닐로 아블고, 엘루스 훌리오 곤살레스, 에르스 노에 수아레스, 3루수 진 아흐네스, 유격수 제이슨 패터스, 사이스 베냐민 베일리, 중견수 허세 라모스, 오이스 루스텔러.
Tyreek Kemp, Mick Voss, and Darryl Collins, the first 3 you'll see here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Ruendrick Petronella sits in the cleanup spot, followed by Ventura and Quant in the middle of the lineup. Leandro Anasagasti, the catcher, bats 7th. Ryson Polonius, the 3rd baseman, bats 8th. And Max Kops is in right field, batting 9th. A Netherlands team that put up a bunch of runs yesterday. You see how engaged they already are. Everybody hanging out over the top step of the dugout. And a look at Panama's defensive setup with Teo, Ramos, and Bailey right to left in the outfield. Julio Gonzalez at first, Noel Suarez at second, Patterson and Arnaez at short and third, with Danilo Abrego doing the catching for Dimas Ponce today. Ponce, a rising star among managers on the world stage. And he has Jose Ojo out there making the start. The righties ahead, 0-1. And quickly goes back into motion. And it's 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Kemp bunts it awfully close to the mound. Somehow that ball got to first, and somehow, perhaps even more amazing, Jose Ojo got up off the ground. He was not planning on doing a full split there, I can tell you that. Watch this. He went to pick it up. Oh, man. If I did that, I would never walk again. But from the seat of his pants, not only did he do it with a smile, but he got the ball over to first base. And now he misses upstairs with a pitch at 140 kilometers per hour, which has some get up to it. He's fallen behind 2-0. 140 miles per hour, 87 miles per hour. And a good pitch for a strike. That seems to be about where his fastball is going to sit today, in the high 80s. Working against Mick Voss, who I've yet to see in this tournament, as the carousel continues to turn amongst us commentators. This is the 3rd time I've seen the Netherlands. Both times I've seen them prior to tonight, it has been Ryson Polonius at 3rd, and then his twin brother, Rainer Polonius, at short. But only one Polonius in the starting lineup tonight. And now a 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Voss chased one that would have been ball 4 and goes down on strikes for the second out of the bottom of the 1st inning, bringing up Darryl Collins.
Now batting number 17, left field, Darryl Collins.
Good start for Jose Ojo. Up and away, and that's not a bad place to miss with Collins. You want to keep the ball away from the young slugger. He's part of the Kansas City Royals organization in Major League Baseball. He goes with the pitch out to left field, but it's taken in by Bailey, and 1-2-3. Go the Netherlands hitters in the bottom of the 1st. So scoreless after 1, both pitchers off to good starts.
1차 파나마 공격 4번 타자 선배스 진 아르네스.
Top of second inning. Now batting number 22, third base, Jean Arnaz.
Look at the charismatic young manager for this Panama team, Dinas Ponce. A lot to smile about, a lot to build around with this program. A program that just last year at the U-15 Baseball World Cup finished second to the United States. That was a big surprise that they even played in that championship game. They came in not among the highest ranked nations in the world. They come into this tournament ranked 13th in the world. And now a swing and a fly ball, one driven out to center. Petronella, though, has some room behind him when he makes the catch. Sorry, Ramos, that is, as Petronella's the one who sent it out to center field. And there's one away.
Now batting number 25,
So Panama
first base,
ranked 13th in the world, Netherlands 8th in the world. These are two good programs. And now Prince's pitch is high. Second start of the tournament for Scott. 18-year-old right-hander who faced Canada. Got the start in that one as well. It was not a great outing for him. That was really the one game where the Netherlands did not compete in this tournament. They've only lost twice. That was one of the two losses. It wasn't a pretty one either. They lost 11-0. Now 1-2 pitch. Grounded left side into left field, and there's the game's first hit. Gonzalez poking it through the 5-6 hole to become a one-out base runner.
5번 타자 사익스 베냐민 베일리.
now batting
Prince in
number
that outing
18,
against Canada went 3 2/3, only gave up 2 hits, but he walked 3 and wound up giving up 3 earned runs, 5 runs in total. The defense wasn't there for the Netherlands. I think that was last Saturday, but here's a ground ball to short that could end the inning. Instead, Mick Voss boots it, and it's first and second. That was a tailor-made double play ball to get out of the inning, and instead, it's an error.
7번 지명 타자
And that's a
에이든
big
몬테로.
swing. Off the bat, you're thinking, okay, here we go to the bottom of the second. I think Mick Voss was among us thinking that. He got a bit ahead of himself. He had started to make the flip before securing the ball in the glove. And that really hurts. We'll see what Prince can do, just as we're talking about the fact that the defense wasn't there for him the last time he started. He seems unperturbed as he fires strike one in on a line to Montero. Montero, the DH. 1 for 11 in the tournament. Now 2 for 12, and that's into left field. Collins comes up with it. His throw towards the plate cut off, and a bases loaded 1-out chance for Panama to score first.
8번 타자 버스 다닐러 아브리고.
now batting number 82, catcher Danilo Abrego.
That pitch was intended to be a little bit more inside, in near the hands. Wound up right out over the plate. High in the air, left center field. Still going back on it, making the catch, Collins. And that'll be deep enough to give Panama a 1-0 lead. It'll be an unearned run.
노엘 수아레스.
now batting number 9, second base, Noel Suarez.
Suarez comes up now with runners on first and third, as Gonzalez wasn't the only man to tag on that play. Bailey went second to third. Panama's second baseman completes the trip through the order the first time. He waits for the right-hander Prince to be ready and come home. Strike one called. Grounded to second. It kind of eats up Kemp, but a nice job to adjust, make the play, and get the out at first that retires the side. A run on 2 hits with an error, and 2 men left after an inning and a half. Panama's taking the game's first lead at 1-0.
이에 발 네덜란드 공격 4번 타자 진펜스 루앤드릿 피터넬라.
Bottom of second inning. Now batting number 27 center field, Gijang-Hyundai.
The Netherlands playing from behind as we pick it up in the bottom half of the second. Petronella, Ventura, and Quant. Against the right-hander Jose Ojo. At the knees, 1-1. Ojo's last start did not go well, so he had to be feeling pretty good getting after that 1-2-3 bottom half of the first inning. In the game against Spain, he gave up 4 earned in just an inning and a third, and it's interesting that both starters tonight were on the hill for their team's worst games. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and down goes Petronella, second strikeout for Ojo. That game against Spain, really the only time in the tournament that Panama didn't compete. They lost 12-3. It was pretty ugly, just the way the Netherlands lost 11-0 in an ugly game against Canada. Just so happens that Ojo and Prince drew the starting assignment for those respective games. You really can't pin the losses on them. Their teams just weren't in it. So it's nice to see them both looking sharp here early. Ventura, the big menacing right-handed batter, fouls that one back. Very quickly down 0-2. That pitch wasn't exactly on target. It was supposed to be a little bit further outside. Wound up kind of sitting all over the plate. But now 0-2 curveballs grounded to third into the glove of Arnaez. Out at first base. Good hustle from Ventura, turning it into a really close play. And Gino Arnaez will probably keep that in mind next time he gets a ground ball. He was being awfully casual, really taking his time. There's a little bit of, you know this, you know that, blah, blah, blah. And then that throw over to first that, man, just did beat Ventura. Now Shane Quant, the batter, looks at ball 1. Picture perfect evening here in Gijang. Outside and low, 2-0. And a strike at the belt buckle. 5 up, 5 down so far for Ojo. And he'll go to cover first, and he'll make it 6 up and 6 down. A perfect bottom of the second sends us to the third with Panama on top of the Netherlands 1-0.
사회적 파나마 공격 1번 타자 루이스 루이스텔로.
Top of third inning. Now batting number 74, right field, Luis Teller.
We begin the third right where we began the first. Top of the order for Panama, Luis Teller flying out to center field to get the ball game underway, digging in for his second time against Scott Prince, who gave up the unearned run in the second. And now puts strike 1 in there. The other games in progress right now, one's in the bottom of the 9th inning, one's in the bottom of the first. And it's very quickly 0-2 on Tejo. The game in the bottom of the 9th, perhaps the biggest shocker of the day. China leads Spain 6-0. China winless in the opening round. They're at the bottom of the consolation round standings at 0-2. Spain atop the consolation round standings at 2-0. They have almost beaten all the best teams, and we're talking about Spain. They almost beat Japan, almost beat the United States, holding late leads in both of those games over world number 1 Japan, world number 2 the USA. And now fastball is called, strike 3, and Tejo is having a tough start to his night. He's 0 for 2. But this China team, despite its 0-5 record, has been in some games. They can ball a little bit, and tonight they are letting it all hang out. The 6-0 win, or lead, excuse me. Don't want to put it in the bag yet, as ball 1 misses high to Patterson. The big blow in that game for China, grand slam. Team's first home run of the tournament. So that's that game. That's in the bottom of the 9th. The other game is in the bottom of the first now, heading into the top of the second. And it's scoreless between Canada and Japan. Japan, world number 1, 1-1 in the super round standings. Canada, world number 10, 0-2 in the super round standings, having lost to Australia and Korea in the opening round of games. That pitch was close. It's 3-1. A little bit high and outside. And the pitch now is a little bit better, 3-2. Jose Ramos on deck. Panama batting with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd inning. Payoff pitch from Prince, swung on and missed. That's back-to-back strikeouts, and he's got 3 Ks in total today. That'll get a smile out of the young man.
Now batting,
A lot of movement on that pitch.
Jose Ramos.
And Ramos, who was the first of the 3 strikeout victims, takes a look at strike 1. Oh and 2. Prince looking to strike out the side in order at the top third of this Panama lineup. His 0-2 just misses. That one missed by a little bit more. Things are going to be awfully crowded when we wake up tomorrow morning and look at the Super Round standings. There will be 4 teams at 2-1. We knew that was a guarantee after the U.S. beat Australia earlier. And now a ball roped out to left. It's down. Collins does well to cover a lot of ground and cut it off before it gets to the wall, limiting Ramos to a single.
4번 타자 3루수 진 안네스.
Good job there hitting with 2 strikes.
Third base, Gene Arnaz.
Ball 1 to Arnaz. Third baseman for Panama. Grounded up the middle, another chance for Mick Voss. He goes to second for the outfielder's choice, 6-4. And that ends the top of the third after 2.5. Panama 1, Netherlands nothing.
네덜란드 공격 7번 타자 포수 리안드로 아나가스티.
Now batting number 16.
The Netherlands needing a base runner starts the bottom of the third with Leandro Anasagasti. 6 up, 6 down for Ojo, who has fanned a pair, gotten 3 ground balls, and flown Darryl Collins out to left. Anasagasti, the Dutch catcher, goes ahead 2-0 on a couple of pitches that were way out of the strike zone. Like, way out. 3 for 13 for Anasagasti, and 3-0. Another one low, this one a little bit better at least from Ojo, who hasn't really shown any wildness to this point in the game and now finds himself and finds strike 1. Good patience and a leadoff walk. Anasagasti aboard.
8번 타자 3루수 라이슨 폴로니어스.
Ryson Polonius coming up now. Very capable young man with the bat in his hands. He can do a lot of different things. He's a good contact guy. He's a good bunter. Shows no sign of a bunt, taking that first pitch well up and out of the zone. Over at field 3, we told you they were in the bottom of the 9th in the game between China and Spain. Spain loading the bases in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing 6-0. They have them loaded, haven't scored yet. And bat with 2 outs. So it's not easy for China as they try and lock down victory number 1 of this tournament. They get right back at it tomorrow morning too, taking on South Africa. One-0 pitch, again high. So Ojo was missing low against Anasagasti, missing high against Polonius. 6 of 7 pitches have been for balls. And he gets a call he needed, 2-1. And it's official, China has won. So congratulations, China has a victory in this tournament. Coming in as the 20th seeded team in the world, 20th ranked team in the world, the second chance for a second victory is tomorrow morning. They can make it back-to-back dubs. So now South Africa, the only team without a win. That'll be a good one tomorrow morning. 2-2 pitch here. Taken down low to fill up the count. So now just 2 games in progress. This one here and the super round matchup between Canada and Japan on field 1 that's scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. Outside, ball 4, and that's back-to-back walks to put the tying run on second, the go-ahead run behind him.
Now batting number 18,
And Max Kops is the batter. Kops 4 hits in the tournament. The Netherlands batting .239 as a group. Kops punches at the ball, trying to bunt it, and bunts it right into his dugout foul. Two and one, what's happened to Jose Ojo? He was living in the strike zone. First couple of innings. Did not allow a base runner in the first nor second. A good bunt from Kops. Ojo goes to third, though. It wasn't good enough. Great play from Jose Ojo to get the lead runner, Anasagasti.
now batting.
Aware that the catcher was the lead runner, Ojo didn't hesitate. Even though the bunt was on the first base side of the mound, it did come sort of right back to the mound. That was a 0 margin for error play, though, and he made it. Nice job. Polonius now the lead runner. And ball one to start Tyreek Kemp's at bat, his second of the night. He's fallen behind all 4 hitters here in the third inning. Anasagasti and Polonius, who both drew walks. Kops, who got the bunt down but didn't advance the runners and now stands on first. And Kemp, who swings at the 1-0 and fouls it high out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good speed on the base paths for the Netherlands. There's that deep guttural sound that comes out of the Dutch dugout. I noticed it yesterday. It's very off-putting. Bell tie. 1 and 2. Chopper off the dish goes foul. Count holds at 1-2. A long look in from Ojo this time, but now he has the one he wants and brings it home. Spoiled by Kemp. Tyreek had a big game yesterday. He has 6 hits overall in the tournament, trailing just Darryl Collins among his teammates. 3 separate 2-hit games. And another foul ball to stay alive. He was 2 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in yesterday's game against China. Good curveball, and that's a strikeout, the 3rd of the day for Ojo, as he seems to be coming back to his former self. After walking the first 2 batters of the inning, he retires Kops and Kemp, and now goes to work against Mick Voss, trying to keep his team in front by this 1-0 score. Base hit could tie it. Ojo shakes off a few signs, but now with the one he wants, he comes out and puts it in the dirt. Good fastball at 138. Again, that's like 86 miles per hour. 1-1. Pitch count was under 30 coming into this inning. The 2 walks. A couple of balls to Kops before he laid down the bunt, which really turned around the inning for Ojo. Made that great play throwing to third to get the lead runner, and then struck out Kemp after a lengthy battle. Shaking off a lot of signs though here as he tries to get ahead, or at least even up things with Voss. Voss guessed right there. He was a little too quick though, and it's 2-2. The set at the belt. Ojo, 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, and he has it. Called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to strand 2 runners and send us to the 4th with Panama ahead of the Netherlands 1-0.
타자에서 파나마 공격 9번 타자 엘리스 훌리오 곤잘레스.
Top of fourth inning. Now batting number 25, first base, Julio Gonzalez.
Still a 1-0 game as we start the fourth. Julio Gonzalez, Benjamin Bailey, and Adrian Montero. This trio reached base in successive order back in the second inning, the one that saw this Panama team take a 1-0 lead. In fact, nobody else reached base in that second inning. It was Gonzalez with a 1-out single that started the party. 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. In fact, that inning, which saw the unearned run go up, could have been an inning in which Scott Prince faced just 3 batters. As following the Gonzalez single, Bailey grounded one to short that could have started very easily a 6-4-3 double play, but it was booted by Mick Voss. Now 1-2 is low. And that opened the door for Montero to single and advance Gonzalez to third, and then Abrego brought him home with a fly ball to left, a sac fly, the difference in the game thus far. 2-2, cut and a miss. Both pitchers dealing. 4 strikeouts now for Prince.
6번 타이츠 베냐민 베일리.
Now batting number 18, left field, Benjamin Bailey.
Oh, 1. Down low. A run on 3 hits for Panama. No hits yet for the Netherlands. The game's only error, the difference really. A strike and it's 1-2. That one skipped clean to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At the knees, back-to-back strikeouts. Adrian Montero,
Adrian Montero.
bateo designador,
Number 72,
coming up now.
designated hitter, Adrian Montero.
A 2-ball count. Montero the single last time up. Three and nothing. No walks yet from Prince. Can't say that anymore. 2-out walk to extend the top of the fourth and give a little bit of life to Panama here already with a lead.
Now batting number 82, catcher,
Abrego coming up.
Abrego.
Saw that big lead from Montero. He just walked out to it. And that's 6 straight balls. And maybe time for Leandro Anasagasti to go have a word with his pitcher, who all of a sudden has completely lost track of the strike zone. A glance over his left shoulder at first, where he doesn't seem all that concerned with Montero. He's just completely lost it. After back-to-back strikeouts too. He was on cruise control to start this fourth inning. Finds it again with strike one. Now a hard hit ball with the runner in motion. It winds up in right field. And that is really, really good baseball from Panama, sending Montero on that pitch. Had he stayed put at first base, we'd be off to the bottom of the fourth, but Tyreek Kemp had vacated his second base position. The ball hit pretty much right where he started before he went to cover the throw. Hit and run. 4 hits on the board now for Panama. And a mound visit, a time to have a word with Scott Prince. Time to look at the rest of the scores around the tournament today. Beginning this morning, the very first game in the Consolation round was an 11-1 win for Nicaragua over South Africa. Then we had 2 Super Round games. The first 2 Super Round games start at noon. The United States beating Australia 2-1. And what could go down as the game of the tournament. And a strike is called. It's 0-1 on Suarez. The other Super Round game went to Chinese Taipei. They beat Korea 7-2, which really dashed the hopes of that Korea national team of advancing and playing for a world championship on Sunday. They're not mathematically out of the question when it comes to playing for a championship, but with 2 losses already, they cannot afford another. That much we know. The second game in the consolation bracket, China winning its first time this tournament, 6-0. An 0-2 pitch, popped up foul. Spain falling for the first time in consolation round play. And now there are 2. 1-0 your score here. 0-0 the score on field 1 in the game between Canada and Japan. Popped up off the end of the bat, not deep and right. Few players converge. The catch made by Kops. And the side retired in the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Netherlands coming up trailing 1-0.
사이발 네덜란드 공격 3번 타자 좌익수 데럴 콜린스.
Bottom of 4th inning. Now batting number 17, left field, Daryl Collins.
You see no hits on the board yet for the Netherlands national team. 4 hits and a run for Panama, trying to win for a second time in the tournament. Tough sledding here in the fourth for Jose Ojo. Daryl Collins will lead off, then Ruendrick Petronella, and then Nathaniel Ventura. Collins, a dangerous bat. Takes a curveball for a strike. One of a few really big-bodied young men. Collins leading his team with 7 hits, making a bid for number 8, but actually hooking it foul to go down 0-2. Leads his team with 7 hits, leads his team with 5 runs scored. How about a home run and 7 RBIs to lead this group as well, though Ventura also has a home run, so he's, I guess, the co-leader in that category. Ojo with a curveball, and that's what good hitters do. They hit good pitches with 2 strikes and get on base. Jose Ojo made exactly the pitch he was trying to. Whenever you've got Collins sending it the other way, you know you've already done something right. I guess that pitch ought to have been just a bit further away. The leadoff man is on. That's the first hit for the Netherlands. Petronella tried to give his team the lead with that swing and instead fell behind. Oh, 1, grounded to second, and look at that. Just what we saw at the top half of the inning. The Netherlands this time playing hit and run, and that ball goes bouncing through the right side instead of starting a double play. Heck of an effort from Suarez, too. Watch this. As he was racing up the middle to cover second on the stolen base attempt, he had to slam on the brakes, fell down there, then dove after the ball, but couldn't get to it. Had Collins not run and had Suarez stayed put, probably would have been a double play. Instead of first and third with none out. Great opportunity not only for the Dutch to tie it up, but maybe take a lead. More good curveballs though. That one for strike 1 on Ventura. Back-to-back soft singles. The blooper and the bouncer. A baseball tragedy from Panama's perspective. Sounds like a 1-act play. Ball outside, 1-1. Last time up, Ventura grounded out to third. Infielders are back deep. They'll concede a run in order to get a couple of outs. Well, this one's going to the outfield. Hit a long way. Run down, nice catch by Ramos. The throw will go to first. Not quite in time to get the double play. A run scores on the fly out, and the game is tied at 1. Some get up from Jose Ramos. Ventura can't believe it. He's got a big smile. He thought for sure he had extra bases. What a grab. And then the strong throw to the relay. There's Petronella, who is almost all the way on second, sliding back into first, safe. And ball 1 as we continue to Shane Quant. One and one. 1-1 our score. Ojo now 60 pitches into the outing. What a job by the Netherlands to manufacture this run here in the bottom of the 4th inning to tie the game. Leadoff bloop single, the hit and run to go first and third, and a sac fly. That really should have been an extra base hit that probably would have given them the lead if not for the spectacular play from Ramos. Quant back on his haunches, waits for the 1-2, big swing and a foul. That fastball back up at 87 miles per hour, and then it went right off the right leg of Danilo Abrigo. Good take from Quant, who grounded out to first in the second inning. That was the 6th straight batter that Jose Ojo retired to begin his outing. Allowed the first 2 runners to reach last inning before escaping that pickle unscathed, and then allowed the first 2 runners to reach this inning, having surrendered the 1 run, still with just the 1 out. He gets Quant to send it sky high up into the twilight. And the catch is made for the second out. Is it twilight or dusk? I'm never really sure. The sun back behind the mountains has set. Not just behind the mountains, but it's nightfall here. Look at that gorgeous backdrop. That curve had Anas Agasti all confused. He spun around backwards. Relieved, I'm sure, to hear the pitch called ball 1, as it didn't miss the inside edge by very much in the end. And it's flown out to right field. Well hit. Teo, though, makes the grab. And we're off to the 5th. The game is tied again, now at 1 after 4.
파나마 공격 1번 타자 우익수 루이스 텔로.
Top of 5th inning. Now batting number 74 right field, Luis Tello.
Wherever the Netherlands national team goes, they bring a healthy bunch of supporters with them. This tournament, this U-18 Baseball World Cup, no exception. That young lady enjoying, I'm sure, this ball game so far. How could you not? It's a good one. 1-1 as we begin the 5th. A run in the 2nd for Panama, a run in the 4th. Netherlands tying it up on a couple of hits and a sacrifice fly. 3rd time round, top of the order, Teo fouls it back. 1 strike on Panama's right fielder. 0 for 2, a fly out to center and a called 3rd strike against him. It's 1-1. That was the 70th pitch from Scott Prince. Who now moves ahead 1-2. A chase from Teo. He went after a pitch down in the dirt. Didn't bother running to first. Second time he's gone down by way of the K.
Number 7 shortstop, Jason Patterson.
And this top third of the order has really struggled against Prince. Combined 1 for 7 with 4 strikeouts. High and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. 6 strikeouts in total for Prince. Gets a check swing liner to go into the first base side dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Line drive on a hop. 2 hops, in fact, to second. Kemp to first, 2 away. And now Teo and Patterson on top of the lineup are a combined 0 for 6. And here comes Ramos, looking to build off the success he found in the third when he delivered a 2-out single, which at the time was Panama's 3rd hit of the game. Now they have 4. Big swing, he was looking for more than just a single there was Ramos. His head flew open and he's down 0-1. Kind of like an instant replay. It's 0-2. He foul tipped both of those pitches. And we'll see what Scott Prince gives him here. He bounces one off the dish. You always try to get somebody to chase that 2-strike offering. It's usually got to be a little bit more tempting than that. So he'll wind and unwind and find the inside corner for a called 3rd strike. 7 strikeout through 5 solid innings from Scott Prince. Just the 1 unearned run allowed, and after 4.5, it's 1-1 with the Netherlands coming back up.
오해발 네덜란드 공격 8번 타자 선발수 라이슨 폴로니아스.
Bottom of 5th inning. Now batting number 6, 3rd base.
A look
Polonius.
at a little bit bigger group of the Dutch supporters. Some fans down the first base line enjoying the game as well. On a warm evening, but a beautiful evening. Thursday night in Gijang, Korea. 1-1 our score as we start the home half of the 5th with the ball upstairs. Ryson Polonius, Max Kops, and Tyreek Kemp. The 8-9-1 hitters against Jose Ojo, who's in the zone that time. 1-1. Ojo's 69th pitch is wide. He walked Polonius last time they met. That was in the 3rd. He's walked 2 and they came back-to-back to start the 3rd inning. He did a really fine job, did Jose Ojo, of pitching himself out of that bit of trouble. He got himself out of the trouble by fielding a bunt that was meant to move the runners. And that's strike 2. And that's not a good look from Ryson Polonius, who tossed the bat thinking he had taken ball 4 and then stood there with his hands on his hips. He's got a wide open stance, and now the 3-2 coming at him is high and outside, and a frustrated Jose Ojo pounds his fist into midair, having walked Polonius for the 2nd time.
Number 18, right field, Max Kops.
will get a visit to the mound, and in fact we'll get a pitching change as Dimas Ponce doesn't waste any time sprinting to the mound to take the ball from Ojo, who departs after a really nice little outing. He leaves with a runner on first and none out in the bottom of the fifth. We'll be right back and tell you about the new pitcher.
파나마의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 타수 이스라엘 멘도자.
Now coming in to pitch for Panama, number 3, Israel Mendoza.
Israel Mendoza, the new pitcher for Panama. He makes his third appearance of the tournament, bringing in a 1-0 record and a 4.15 ERA. He starts his outing with a throw over to first to check on the base runner, Ryson Polonius, whose walk knocked Ojo out of the game. The last time we saw Mendoza pitch at this tournament, he threw 4 dazzling innings against South Africa, but his first pitch here tonight, a forgettable one in the dirt that allows the runner to advance, a wild pitch that puts Polonius on second. Max Kops could give his team a lead with the single. Takes it thigh high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Couple glances back at second. A check swing and a ball away. The appeal to third, no swing. Heard the reaction from Panama's dugout after they didn't get that strike call. Been a somewhat fluid strike zone today. I guess tonight at this point. 3-1. Ground ball to first. Gonzalez flips to Mendoza. And that's the first out of the inning, but look who's on third now. It's Polonius.
Now batting, number 2, second base, Tyreek Kemp.
Tyreek Kemp, the leadoff man, is up at bat. Kemp trying to put his team ahead. He can do it so many ways, one of which the ground ball, the way Panama's trying to cut down. They bring the infield to the grass. And a good pitch for strike 1. little bit too much of that for my liking. It seems like every single time there's been a called strike, it doesn't matter who the player is or which team they're on, they make a face. It's like they've never had a strike called against them in their lives. This one's popped up behind second base. The catch is made by Patterson, and that's a great victory for Mendoza because it keeps Polonius on third. Now with 2 outs, he can get Mick Voss any which way he can and still keep this game tied. That was the one you really had to get in a very limited number of ways, and he got one of them, the infield pop-up. But not out of the woods yet. Voss looking to do something here to help put his team in front. No kind way to say it, but he hurt his team with an error in the second inning that led to Panama taking a 1-0 lead. And he's been hitless in 2 tries so far, 2 strikeouts in the game, so he's happy to see somebody other than Ojo. Though he falls down 0-2. That fastball at 140 or 87 miles per hour. 0-2 pitch off the outside corner. Good pitch though from Mendoza, right where Abrego wanted it. Swinging a foul tip, and that's a heck of a job from Israel Mendoza to get out of the 5th inning and leave the potential go-ahead run stranded on third base. We made it through 5. It's time to take a short break and let the grounds crew get to work. When we come back, we'll bring you the 6th of a consolation game that's pretty darn good. Panama 1, Netherlands 1 after 5.
여기서 파나마 공격 4번 타자 선루수 진 알레스.
Top of sixth inning. Now batting number 22, third base, Gijang-Hyundai.
1-1 as we pick it up in the sixth inning. Craig Durham, happy to have you along with me on this Thursday night. Gijang, Korea, the first night of the Super Round, the first night of the Consolation Round. Basically, I guess it's the start of the second round of this 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup. A good one going here between the Netherlands and Panama. 1-1 the count on Gijang-Hyundai, Panama's third baseman, who takes a strike. One of 6 players on this Panama team who's a part of a Major League Baseball franchise. Arnaya is part of the Blue Jays organization. He hits this one high in the air to left field. Went up into the lights, comes down into the glove of another minor league prospect in North America. That's Collins, who plays in the Royals system. And here comes Julio Gonzalez, the first baseman, who has scored Panama's only run tonight after he singled with 1 out in the second and came around on a sacrifice fly. After his single, he struck out swinging. Bounces this one just foul past third base to go down 0-1. Getting his third look at Scott Prince. Prince, who's had a really good outing. Hasn't given up a hit since he gave up a 2-out single to Abrego. And now a diving catch. Yeah, he held on to it. Ruendrick Piranella going down onto the turf. And very quickly we have 2 outs. He stood there sizing it up, sprung forward and made the grab. Not an easy play, and the big boy had it. A little bit of rug burn to go along with it. And now Benjamin Bailey taking a curveball low. Bailey 0 for 2, though he reached on the error committed by Mick Voss, which was a real big play in this game. That was in the second inning right after Gonzalez had singled with 1 out. Bailey hit a ball right at Mick Voss, and sometimes that can be your worst enemy. The ball that comes right to you, it doesn't force you to move, it gives you time to think. Every athlete's worst nightmare. And when Voss misplayed it, everybody was safe. We thought off the bat that it might be the ball that ended the top of the second inning. Instead, it was followed by another single before the sac fly that opened the scoring. And now a strike, and it's 3-1. Last time up, Bailey struck out looking in the 4th inning. Now he has a walk. Prince was wild that entire sequence of pitches to Bailey and only barely got the 1 strike call.
Now batting number 72, designated hitter Adrian Montero.
Adrian Montero has not been kept off the base paths tonight. He's the only player in the Panama lineup we can say that about. He singled in the second and walked in the 4th. Here he is staring down Prince with the potential go-ahead run on first. Swings. Hits it towards second. That's not a good place to hit it against this Dutch defense. Tyreek Kemp gets to everything, including that one, to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left, and after 5.5, it's still 1-1. 1-1, bottom of the sixth, about to get underway with Daryl Collins, Ruendrick Petronella, and Nathaniel Ventura coming up. Formidable trio. Last time it started with Collins, there were runners on first and second before an out was recorded, and when that first out was recorded, it brought Collins home. So this is a big spot in the game for the Netherlands to try and take the lead. Israel Mendoza, who inherited a base runner last inning and then faced 3 batters, retiring them all to get out of the inning with the game still tied. A good first pitch strike to Collins, though he's high with the second, and it's 1-1. We have a score in the Super Round game that's being played parallel to ours. It's 1-0 Canada in the bottom of the 5th inning. Owen Diodati with the home run. The Super Round games have been really well pitched today. Oftentimes that is the case with the Super Round action at these events. Collins a swing and a tip for strike 2. Most of the teams that survive the opening round, it's a brutal grind. Those that do advance often do so because they have the most depth of pitchers. As we say that, the score has been changed. Japan has tied it up. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-2 inside. Good battle unfolding here between Mendoza and Collins to begin the home half of the 6th. Collins fouls off a tough pitch down and in. It was a really good start from Jose Ojo. He went 4, gave up the 1 run earned on 2 hits. He walked 2. When he started the 3rd inning out of the zone, he walked Anasagasti and Polonius back-to-back, but that was all in terms of the base on balls. And he finished his day with 4 strikeouts. Will not factor in the decision. Payoff pitch, number 2, and Collins smokes it high and deep to right. It is gone. Second home run of the tournament for Daryl Collins. His team ahead for the first time tonight at 2-1. That ball meant to be a little bit further down. Was left up, belt high, and it disappeared into the night sky. Both home runs Daryl Collins has hit have been no doubters. And a good pitch there that Mendoza didn't get the call on. 1 ball, 1 strike as he deals with another guy with a lot of power in his bat. Petronella leaves the breaking ball under the bat, 1-2. Ruendrick has singled and struck out swinging. And he waves and misses, and that's a great bounce back effort from Mendoza to get the strikeout. His second of the outing. Nathaniel Ventura, who prior to that big fly ball had driven in the only run of the game for the Dutch, stands in now. Takes the ball high. Man, can Daryl Collins mash. Got to have a pretty good barber, too, to wind up with a do like that. You could put that in an instructional video of how to be a left-handed power hitter. That swing there, all that power coming from the hips. The lower body. 2-1. Popped up. Foul ground. Is it playable? You bet it was, but Danilo Abrego was a bit concerned about where he was on the field, not to mention the fact that he was looking up into the lights, so he wasn't able to come down with it. He ditched the mask, but then the ball fell to his right. He never really saw it, I don't think. Two-two. Taken low. Another update to the score on field one. Japan's moved in front. They lead Canada 2-1. If Japan wins that game, the super round will have 4 teams at 2-1. Payoff pitch now, swung on and missed. The ball down in the dirt. Abrego pulls it up and throws to first to complete the strikeout of Ventura. So now 3 strikeouts in the outing for Mendoza.
Now batting, number 20.
He's done well to shake off the home run. And he'll look to get out of the inning if he can get through Shane Quant. If Japan wins, it would be Australia, the United States, Japan, and Chinese Taipei at 2-1. With Canada in last place at 0-3 in the super round. And Korea at 1-2. If Canada wins the game, you'll have 3 2-1 teams and 3 1-2 teams. So that one means an awful lot as far as these standings go. As we try to sort out who will wind up a world champion at the U-18 level. Shane Quant strikes out swinging on a pitch in the dirt, and how about that from Israel Mendoza? He retires the side in order, all on strikes following the home run to Collins, but that was a big home run from Darryl Collins as it put his team ahead 2-1.
네덜란드의 선수 배치가 있겠습니다. 투수 칼 마두로.
Now coming into pitch for Team Netherlands. Number 15, Cal Maduro.
스트레치 파나마 공격 8번 타자 버스 다닐로 아브리고.
Now batting, number 82, catcher, Danilo Abrego.
Danilo Abrego will lead off. Darryl Collins just led off with a home run to untie the game, and now the Netherlands turns it over to the bullpen as we enter the 7th. 2-1 our score. Cal Maduro, the new pitcher, and his first pitch is lined to third. Ryson Polonius passed that test, the one that checked whether or not he was awake to start the 7th. He was. He didn't have any time to dilly-dally there. The ball shot out towards him, and then a hard step to his left for the catch, one away. Noel Suarez, the second baseman now, takes low, 1-0. Suarez, a ground out to second, a fly out to right. Grounded to third, another try for Polonius. He's 2 for 2. And on 3 pitches, Cal Maduro has 2 outs.
Now batting, number 74, right.
This the second outing of the tournament for Maduro. The last coming against Nicaragua when he gave up a run on 2 hits in 2 innings with a strikeout and no walks. 17 years old. His pitch popped up here. It'll go out of play. And it's 0-1 on Luis Teo, who has had a tough night in the leadoff spot. Teo went 0 for 3 against Scott Prince, who's in line to earn the victory. He went 6, giving up the 1 run, an unearned run on 4 hits with 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. Spectacular stuff from Prince, who did it all in less than 100 pitches, but he may not win as this ball's launched deep to left. Back there is Collins. He leaps and he makes the catch. Darryl Collins goes yard in the bottom of the 6th and then climbs the wall to make a catch and take extra bases away from Teo. And the top of the 7th, that one just died once it got to the outfield. Collins says, I don't know, I guess I'm having a good night. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. The Netherlands 2, Panama 1.
네덜란드 공격 7번 타자 퍼스 리안드로 아나사스티.
Now batting number 16, catcher, Leandro Anasagasti.
Judging where he was, Collins with the right hand back, leaping and squeezing it. That's how the top of the 7th came to an end. Pretty impressive sequence there from Collins. The home run to give his team the lead, then that catch, and now we'll see what the Dutch team does about building upon their first lead of the night. First time they've started an inning with the lead. And I'm not sure what happened there. As we look over the right field wall, and I think that's the ball that Collins hit out of here. Nice job by our camera crew to spot it. Sitting up in the grass high on the hill beyond the right field wall. Nice find, boys and girls. Outstanding crew working long hours here at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark. 3 fields in play today for the first time since Sunday. And a swing and a miss, and the strikeouts now just flying out of Israel Mendoza. He has fanned 4 in a row, 5 in total. 5 of the last 6, with the only exception being the Collins home run. But this crew that's put all these games on the air for you have been working tirelessly to cover 3 fields. Again today, after we were forced to a 2-field setup the last 3 days because of rain. You see field 1 has real grass all over the place and dirt all over the place. Fields 2 and 3 are all turf except for the areas on the mound, around home plate, and around the bases, which is where you'll find real dirt. Pop-up for out number 2. Polonius retired for the first time. He had walked twice before that pop-up. And now Max Kops, who is 0 for 2, will try and reach and extend the 7th. The turn, the pitch, and a ball away. Two and nothing. It's really nice to have field 1 back in play today. We had that little bit of overlap when our game started here. The Canada-Japan game started at Field 1, and the game between China and Spain was getting into the late innings. That was 6 o'clock local time when all three fields were alive with life. 2-1, swing and a miss. Just nasty stuff coming from Mendoza. Cops dropped to a knee after that swing. Good slider. Two-two. Down and in, 3 balls, 2 strikes. If Cops is able to reach, Tyreek Kemp waits in the on-deck circle. But he won't reach. Another strikeout for Mendoza, who's piling them up. He's got 6 in 3 innings of work, and he's keeping his team in the game. They'll come up, will Panama to start the 8th, trailing 2-1.
Now batting, number 7, shortstop, Jason Patterson.
The Thursday night gem here between Panama and the Netherlands moves into its 8th frame. 2-1 our score, 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Netherlands. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Panama. The Central American nation sending Jason Peterson to bat. Patterson, Ramos, and Arnaez, 2-3-4. Against Cal Maduro, who has a strike. So it's 1-1. Nice pitch there from Cal, who took over for Scott Prince. Last inning, ground ball here to third, few hops to Polonius. 1 away.
Now batting, number 99, center field, Jose Ramos.
Jose Ramos, the batter. Ramos, 2 strikeouts, a single. The single in between the strikeouts came in the 3rd, and now a ball on the warning track forces us to pause momentarily. Cal Maduro, unperturbed, goes right back into it with strike 1 over the outer half. Panama simply running out of time at this point, playing with just 5 outs left. If they're held scoreless here in the top of the 8th, it'll be Kemp, Voss, and Collins coming up for the Netherlands to try and add a little bit of insurance to this 1-run lead as it stands right now. That's a big if. Some big bats here. First Ramos, then Arnaez, but Ramos quickly down 1-2. Maduro working from the windup, turns, delivers, and strikes out Ramos. First strikeout of the night for Maduro.
Now batting, number
come into the game and just started shoving. Arnaez tries to spark something with 2 outs, gets a look at the curveball and falls behind 0-1. 2 flyouts, 1 to center, 1 to left on either side of a ground ball to short that ended the 3rd inning. Again, the slow breaking ball. 1-1. That one up at 86 miles per hour and up under the chin of Arnaez. 2-1, he's in the driver's seat. Fouls the low inside fastball past the 3rd base dugout. And Cal Maduro's ahead, 2-2, trying to get us into the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 more strike. He's ready. He comes home. And he misses up and in. That one up at 87 or 140 kilometers per hour. It almost hit the bat of Arnaez. But instead it's 3-2. Big pitch on its way. Outside, and it's a 2-out walk to put the tying run on. That one was close.
Now batting number 25, first base, Julio Gonzalez.
Julio Gonzalez, a big, powerful bat. Could tie the game with an extra base hit. Could give his team a lead if he really gets a hold of one. Maduro, meanwhile, checks on first. Pop up off the end of the stick. Look at that, climbing the fence. Nathaniel Ventura winds up on the wrong side of it. I think he knew he wasn't going to get to that ball, but can't blame a kid for trying. It landed just on the other side of the mesh netting. So a 1-strike pitch from Maduro. 1-1 now. Still a 2-1 game between Japan and Canada. They're in the top of the 7th on field 1. Japan in front of Canada after falling behind 1-0. Runner goes, pitch popped up, and it'll stay in the infield. Rice and Polonius, and we're off to the bottom of the 8th. 2-1, Netherlands coming up looking for a little bit of insurance. Good game here on field 2.
파르마 네덜란드 공격 1번 타자 이루수 타이레킹.
Bottom of 8th inning. Now batting number 2, second base, Tyrick Kemp.
A look at Israel Mendoza, who came into the game, got the first 3 men he faced. He's gotten the last 6 that he's faced. He's piled up 6 strikeouts, yet he has allowed one hit that has changed the complexion of this entire game. The home run to Collins leading off the 6th inning. Here's Kemp leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. Quickly down 0-2. Collins will bat 3rd after Kemp and Voss, unless we see a pinch hitter. Tyreek in the leadoff spot, 0 for 3. A pop out, a ground out, a strikeout, and time called and granted. Oh no, time called because there was a ball on the field of play. And you see Consolation, long before the motion started, waving her hand, trying to alert Mendoza that there was an issue. Good bat control, meanwhile, from Kemp as he lays off and the count moves to 1-2. From the windup. Ooh. Pretty close, but it's 2-2. Fouled away. A 2-1 final score already today. The United States beating Australia. A 2-1 game in progress here. A 2-1 game in progress on field 1. We've had a shutout today too. Kemp a pesky at bat here. The shutout helping China earn their first victory of the tournament. 6-0 over Spain. The winning teams in today's game have not allowed more than 2 runs, and Kemp bounces it hard to first. But that'll be no trouble for Gonzalez, who makes the play 3-1. And Kemp is 0 for 4. Speaking of close games, just to mention this, which I find interesting, I think you might too if you're paying attention to this tournament. Australia, again, losing today 2-1. I hate to keep hammering that point home, but it was Australia's 6th game in the tournament and the 5th time that their game has been decided by just 1 run. High pop fly, this time off the bat of Voss. It drifts into foul ground. With it is Arnaez, 2 gone very quickly in the bottom of the 8th inning. Australia, in its 5 one-run games, has gone 2-3. Losing 2-1, winning 7-6, losing 4-3, 3-2, and winning 1-0. The 1-0 win was against Korea in the opening round. The 7-6 win was yesterday against Canada in their last game of the opening round, and they needed to win that game to advance into the super round. So quite the start from Australia in terms of the close games. Their only big win was 13-2. Darryl Collins has been awarded first base here. And that'll bring managers out from both dugouts. I think the call is a hit by pitch. Yeah, it is. Or was it some sort of interference? Mendoza's furious. Dimas Ponce brought the translator out with him. You saw nothing there in terms of an immediate reaction from anybody. Collins didn't act as if he got hit. Consolation didn't act as if she was going to call it a hit by pitch right away. Although we are watching it in super slow motion. After the 8th inning begins, the managers don't need to challenge plays. The umpires can decide to look at plays on their own. This is really a shame. The way this game's been played with so much pace, so much good pitching. I think they're explaining to Dimas Ponce that the call is a hit by pitch on the foot, but you saw Darryl Collins he didn't make any type of reaction that would make you think he got hit. But there on the super slow-mo, it kind of looks like the ball hit his foot, hit his toe. What a great job slowing it down to the moment where it looks like the ball hit his foot. And so a 2-out base runner for the Netherlands, and that could turn out to be a big base runner because a big bat is coming up in that of Ruendrik Petronella. Mendoza will look to shake it off. That last replay really makes you think they got it right. You always hope they do. First pitch to Petronella is sent sky high, and this should end the inning anyway. Shallow left field, Patterson. And off we go into the 9th, a 1-run affair. The Netherlands 2, Panama 1. Leading off for Panama will be Bailey when we come back here to field 2. Panama took the game's first lead. The Netherlands tied it up in the 4th, untied it in the 6th, and here we are all of a sudden in the 9th inning with a 2-1 score. The Netherlands 3 outs away from victory. But a long way to go when you have just a 1-run lead. Cal Maduro, who's been the only man out of the bullpen thus far, will start the 9th on the hill. Staring down Benjamin Bailey, who has been aboard twice without a hit. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. We're underway in the 9th with strike 1. Bailey reached on an error in the 2nd. He wound up stranded on 3rd in the 2nd. Struck out looking his next time up, and then walked in the 6th. The righty-righty battle. An 0-2 count. After Bailey, we're scheduled to see Adrian Montero, the DH, and then Danilo Abrego, the catcher. And we're gonna swap out bats. Why not? That one wasn't working. You really don't ever see that, though. Somebody changing bats in the middle of an at-bat. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The new bat doesn't work either. Maduro has 2 strikeouts in his 2 1/3. He's allowed just 1 base runner since coming on in relief of Scott Prince. He walked Arnaez with 2 outs last inning. Almost everything else since he's taken the hill has stayed in the infield. Luis Teo, an exception to that. Teo launching one out to left field with 2 outs in the 7th. But he was robbed by Darryl Collins up against the wall. Now a 1-0 pitch, ripped. Foul. Big smile from Ryson Polonius, who I thought might have a chance to make a play there, but it was well beyond his reach and was not fouled by very much. 1-1. Missing away, it's 2 balls and a strike. A chopper. And a 2-2 count. Big pitch from Maduro. And a big fly ball. Sideways, though. Japan batting, meanwhile, in the bottom of the 7th against Canada. Japan batting with a 2-1 lead. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit to second. Tyreek Kemp over to first. And the Netherlands is an out away from claiming victory. What an outing it's been from Cal Maduro, but he's not done yet. Danilo Abrego has the only run batted in for Panama in this game. It was a sacrifice fly, a ball he hit out to left field in the 2nd inning that gave Panama a 1-0 lead. He's down 0-1. He singled after his sac fly too, so he's having a nice day in the 8th slot. Read that ball well out of the right hand and took it low. 1-1 pitch. In for a strike, and Panama down to their last strike. Maduro just fooled him, had him looking fastball. 1-2. Low. You could hear the entire ballpark holding its collective breath, awaiting the call. So now a 2-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle, past the mound and into center field. This one's not done yet. Maduro had a chance to stab it. The throw goes to first from Kemp after it came in from center field, but safe at first is Abrego, who's got a 2-hit day. Watch how close this was to being the last ball of the night, just beyond the glove. And now we'll have a pinch hitter. In place of Suarez, we'll see Manuel Milan. First to throw to first. A lefty coming off the bench. Milan has not recorded a hit yet in this tournament. He's 0 for 7, but he's been on base. He's scored a couple of runs. Another throw to first, where we have another substitution, a pinch runner at first base. That's Jorge Hernandez. So Hernandez, the base runner. Milan, the batter. The pitch, high and wide. Maduro from the stretch gets a strike on the foul ball, 1-1. This game has just reached the 2-hour mark. As we play with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, the Netherlands leading Panama by a run. The tying run on first. Maduro keeping an eye on Hernandez. Swinging a pop foul, out of play, and yet again, the Panama hitter down to his last strike. Cal Maduro a strike away from ending the game and improving his team's record to 3-0. They would be alone atop the consolation bracket if they can secure this victory here this evening. Here's the set. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the ball game. Maduro strikes out Milan. And the Netherlands will celebrate a 2-1 win in a game in which they recorded just 3 hits. The pitching of Prince and Maduro guides them to victory. Those two do not allow an earned run between them. Prince with 6 solid innings to earn the victory. Maduro with 3 to secure the save. A tough loss for a Panama squad that still just has 1 win here in the tournament, and that bat says it all. Frustration. The order of the night for Panama. Your final line score: 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Netherlands. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for Panama. They played awfully well, and on most nights well enough to win. But 1 mistake the difference. The Darryl Collins home run that untied this game in the 6th and propelled his team to victory. That'll wrap up our coverage from Field 2 tonight. Certainly hope you enjoyed the ball game and the broadcast, and we suggest you turn your attention over to Field 1 now to watch the conclusion of Japan and Canada. Japan leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. I'll be back tomorrow morning on Field 3 with some more consolation round coverage. China and South Africa will start our day at 10 a.m. and boy, do we look forward to it. Until then, Craig Durham saying so long and good night from Gijang, and what a game and what a win for the Netherlands by a final score of 2-1.
Dames van de administratie. Ja, ik kan niet alles invullen.
Second base, Mr. Ji-Hyun from Republic Korea.
Panama
Ik ben blij dat ik nieuw is.
시간 한번 확인해 주세요. 시간. 시간. 스톱.